It continues to get worse for Firewalk Studios and their team shooter game, Concord. Player counts were absolutely abysmal on launch day this past Friday, and they have declined by an over 42% over the weekend. And it's getting even worse. They announced just 2 weeks ago that they will be adding an in-game store, given the fact that selling $40 copies of the game just isn't going to make up for the costs they spent on this game, which took them over 8 years to develop. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. I have the link to this article in the description below. But according to data from SteamDB, the game had a peak concurrent player count of 697 when it released on Friday, August 23rd. That peak concurrent number declined to 402 on Sunday, August 25th. When I wrote this article, took the screenshot, there were only 188 people playing the game. But that decline from 697 to 402, that's 42.3%. Nearly half of its player base stopped playing the game in its first weekend. This game is dead. D-E-A-D, dead. Did not even make it out of the gate. Failure to launch. As far as sales, estimates range from Gamealytic estimating it sold over 7,300 copies, while VG Insights reports that it sold around 12,700. Play Tracker believes it sold 13,100. You can see that this is also from SteamDB. They link to those various estimates. The game is likely a massive financial disaster for Firewalk Studios and its parent company, PlayStation Studios. The game's lead character designer, John Wisniewski, admitted to PC Gamer that the game had been in development for around 8 years. He said this: "The game has been in development for around 8 years, and I've been there for almost 5 of them. We don't get a lot of launch days in our career, so today is special for a ton of reasons. Oblige me some good vibes today." So you know that they spent at least tens of millions of dollars on this game, if not triple digits, potentially over $100 million on this game. And it clearly has not made any of that back. This is an absolute, utter disaster for this game. Wisniewski, interestingly, noted the development team was planning to maintenance and update the game into the foreseeable future. He said this: "Concord has so much humanity and depth to it. I really hope people give it a shot. Insanely proud of the game. We're strapped in and ready to push it for years to come. It has so much humanity that it is actually anti-human." Literally has this character here, Lark, indicating that its pronouns are, quote, undecided. Does not know if it is male or female. Clearly pushing inhumane ideologies such as transgender ideology with the pronouns. And before anyone says, like, it's just an alien, they can be that way, whatever. No, this is clearly ideological. It is clearly trying to push that transgender ideology and is using the game to do that. It's unclear how many years, if any, Concord will last. Most gamers are taking bets on how long it will take Firewalk Studios to make the game free to play, or how long before PlayStation Studios shuts down Firewalk Studios for good after this absolute disaster. Ex-user Captain Kuba posted this: "Concord right now is on a vicious circle of failure, because now even the people who were remotely interested in it won't buy it because no one is playing. If PlayStation hopes to save it, they're going to have to make it free to play as soon as possible." Slim Barron predicted the game will be free to play very soon. He says the release of Concord on Steam has been a major flop. We'll see if the numbers go up or down in the coming days. Surprise, they went down. But something tells me the game will soon switch to a free to play model. So they went down, over 42% decline. I'm betting it's going to be even lower today. Colt Eastwood shared that PlayStation should make the game free to play by September. He says, looks like just the Firewalk Studios employees are the only ones playing Concord currently. Their hard work shouldn't be left to die. PlayStation doesn't have to wait until next month to go free to play. We know that less than 2,500 concurrent players tuned in when it was free to play during its open beta. So free to play isn't going to save this game, in my opinion. It's dead. It's dead, whether it's free to play or whether you have to spend $40 for it. My guess is they could probably make more money keeping it $40 than anyone trying to play it free to play. Maybe they get a whale. Who knows? If you get one whale who just decides to buy up everything, then I guess you could make more money that way than keeping it at $40. YouTuber Endymion, he says Concord debuts to less than 1,000 players on Steam. Is actually less than 700. PlayStation is likely scrambling behind the scenes. I imagine within 2 months, they announce it's free to play. There's no other way it survives. So he thinks it's going to be free to play by October. I don't even think free to play saves the game at all. I don't think they're going to be able to monetize this game to be able to do it because there's simply just not, there's no one playing this game. In fact, Endymion's predictions are in response to VGC writer Jordan Midler speculating that Sony won't even release a live service game in the vein of Concord ever. Like, they've learned their lesson and you won't see any games like this from Sony, period. He wrote this: I don't think Sony will release another live service game like this. Concord will be used as an example at meetings within Bungie to stop Marathon from facing the same fate. Might be too little too late for that game, given all of the negative press coming its way and surrounding Bungie. While Endymion, Captain Kuba, and Colt Eastwood and others believe the game will go free to play, Sid Alpha believes it won't matter. He says, no, everybody knows about Concord, just no one gives a damn about it. Even if it were free to play, I doubt the result would be much different. I 100% agree. Remember, they open beta, less than 2,500 concurrent players on Steam. There was a report from True Trophies indicating that the open beta on PlayStation actually declined 8% compared to the early access. So I don't think going free to play saves this game whatsoever, unless, again, one whale decides to spend like thousands of dollars. And that's the only way they make even more money. And again, that's not covering the cost of potentially millions of dollars they spent on this game over the course of 8 years. DX from YouTube, or from YT, believes the game will not go free to play, sharing this: strongly doubt that Concord will go free to play. It requires recertification, and that costs money. 2K famously refused to do this for Battleborn, which launched with 17 times the player base on Steam that Concord has. This is done. I'd be shocked if the game made it to 3 months. So he thinks that PlayStation shuts it down by November? Doesn't make it past the year 2024. We do have an interesting statement here. This was about 2 weeks ago. They posted this in a blog post, August 13th. You can see the blog post right here. See, August 13th, 2024. It was written by the game director, Ryan Ellis. He shared that they will be launching Season 1 in October. It's titled The Tempest. And he says this: Season 1 will mark the introduction of a brand new playable free gunner, as well as a brand new map, new free gunner variants, more earnable cosmetics and rewards, and a new season of weekly cinematic vignettes that will continue the story of the North Star crew. He also revealed that the game will be adding an in-game store, explaining, with Season 1, we'll also be introducing an in-game store for those looking to personalize their free gunners further with additional customization items and to continue to support the game. These will supplement the hundreds of rewards earnable through progression and will be solely cosmetic, optional, and have no gameplay impact. So there you go. They're not going to go free to play, but they are going to try and bilk the people that spent $40 with an in-game store to purchase cosmetics for their various characters. I wonder if it allows you to completely change the character design of characters like Daw and whatever the giant obese black woman. I don't even remember the character, Emery or something like that. I don't know. That might actually get people to purchase the game if you can change the entire character designs and maybe remove the pronouns. Is that an option? Furthermore, Ellis detailed it will launch Season 2 in January 2025. What's absolutely hilarious about this, though, is that earlier in the blog post, Ellis, before he revealed the in-game store, he said this. And I'm going to add, let's just go over here so you can actually see what he said here. He says, from the very beginning, we wanted Concord to be a complete experience where all core content is available to you on day one and moving forward, not gated behind paid expansions or a battle pass. We take your investment in the game seriously and want to ensure that we bring all players along the journey. So he wrote that in the first paragraph talking about Concord Season 1. And then you get down here below their little roadmap here and says, oh, we're introducing an in-game store looking to personalize your free gunners further. So you know those things that we were actually offering you as part of the $40 sale of the game? Well, we're adding even more of that, but you have to actually pay for that now in this in-game store because we're not actually selling this game to the extent that we needed to cover the costs. So we have to add this in-game store. And granted, they clearly did this 2 weeks ahead of time is when they announced this, but they knew how awful their pre-sales were. They knew their pre-orders were absolutely terrible. They knew this game was not charting on the PlayStation pre-orders list. They knew there was no hype around this. They knew they had less than 2,500 concurrent players on Steam during the open beta. They knew they had less than 1,200 during the early access beta in July. They knew that this game was dead and no one was going to play it. So they're trying to bilk the people that did pay $40 with these cosmetics that they're going to offer in their in-game store. You literally can't make this stuff up. But that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys make of this. Do you think it's going to go free to play? How much lower do you think the player counts are going to go? How quickly before we're in double digits? I think by the end of this week, we're in double digits on Steam. I think that's how many people are just completely abandoning this game. I think this game is dead by the end of the month. I think we're double digits by September. That's how bad this game is going to be. I don't think it's going to go free to play. I don't think that really makes any sense. I think it will probably stay with the $40 price tag and then the in-game store. But again, no one's going to be playing the game, so they're probably not going to be monetizing that store by the time October rolls around when they introduce it. Because again, I'm thinking we're in double digits by September, by the end of the week. I think that's how poorly this game is going to do. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.